to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show and the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex the Cargirl Rosio, Hot Rod Bob Beck, plus Dar Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speed Scene Live. We're right here under the lights in the Speed Scene Live studios. And with us tonight, as always, it's Diana Might.
Hey, welcome.
Keeping her company right alongside is Lucky Hudson.
Great to be here, Bob. Let's get this show going.
Oh, we are, and Bruce is manning the board, hitting all the switches and making sure we stay live and in focus.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in color. That's a whole nother scenario.
That's
Don't
another
trust
thing.
me
We've been
to
working
keep
on
us
that,
everybody
yeah.
in color here.
Hey, check out this good-looking Chevelle. This is the Dan Cargill Seagas car. I will actually be competing with this car up at the March meet.
You
Is this
better
a
be
new
careful
car?
because he was on the ball. Let me tell you, he was doing some 960s with the 9. I mean, he was snapping it good.
That's
And
right.
those were licensed passes.
Licensed
So,
passes.
You know, he wasn't even trying.
Now, is that a new car for you?
New car for him, and he's got a Speed Scene Live sticker, so we're putting it on the show. Send us an email. We'll mail some stickers out to you, and we'll put your car on the show. Tonight, we will have Alex the Car Girl calling in to talk about the Mopars on the Strip. We have Dale Creasy talking about his career as a big dog on the NHRA circuit. And we have the winner of the NHRA Winter Nationals Nitro Harley class. Darian Cowden is the team owner, and he'll be talking to us, and Len Darnell is the rider.
Also, we're going to talk about our Project 406 motor build with the Paul Williams Specialties motor. In my car, of course. Paul Williams, he's a great motor builder, very dependable. And you know what? You can have it too. Just visit his website at PW Specialties. I was going to spell it out for everybody, but you guys are smart enough to spell out the word specialties. PWSpecialties.com. That phone number is 661-864-1632.
Watch this Mopar launch. This is Jesse, and watch it go straight up.
Oh, look at that.
All four wheels straight up in the air, and then it goes forward.
And that's why he went home early.
Hey,
Yes.
Hey, that looks like a familiar car.
Hey, look at this car. Yeah.
Now, we took the car out. We made a little shakedown passes. We're not ready to talk about the official times because this was just breaking in the motor, seating the rings, you know,
Yep.
that kind of stuff. But as you can see, Diana was gingerly taking it easy on the new motor, trying not to be too hard on a brand new, fresh motor.
I got to
And-
warm up the tires, Lucky. Every girl's
Yeah.
got to warm up the tires. Give me a break.
I'm thinking that those rings may be seated in now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
They are seated for life.
Oh, look at that little cross stop coming out of the water box. Oh, I have
A
it.
little bit. She got a little out of the groove right there, but actually she took off and it spun and she had to lift and then she got back in. So we're going to give you some updates shortly about what's going on, but tonight Alex the Car Girl will be talking about this car. This is her. And, you know, she took some weight out of the car over the winter. I think she said about 250 pounds.
She's
out of
not
that
letting
car.
Richard sit in it anymore?
Ah.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Well, she says she's making some good times in the car. It's running great. We'll ask her about it and find out how the car's working. But it was good to see Speed Scene Live on stickers on so many of the cars out at the Fontana Speedway.
No kidding. Representing, man. Hey, coming up on Speed Scene Live television next week, Bridget Davis, NMCA racer. She's going to be talking about her Mustang. Also coming up in a couple of weeks, Donnie and Dar are going to be live in studio doing their March Meet warm-up show for Good Vibrations Motorsports. So that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Well, you know, we've got Hot Rod Bob Beck.
Yeah.
Bob, where were you last weekend?
I was at Irwindale Speedway. I actually got on the track, decided to do something other than go straight down a drag strip, and it was interesting, to say the
Were
least.
circles included in that not going straight thing?
Well, they call it short
yeah.
track racing, right?
Yeah, I made it real short, let me tell you. And there's the race car I got to drive.
Wow.
Yeah, that all two wheels. Or, well, it has four wheels, but only two tires.
Oh,
It
that's
is what they
great,
call
man.
a skid plate car. Now,
Well-
this is before we applied the official Speed Scene Live stickers.
Now, you can see how there's no rubber on the back, and the rim is chained. It has a steel plate, and this is what it looks like off the car, just so you can see what kind of high-tech technology is
Oh, yeah.
involved. But, Bob, before we get into this,
Yes.
tonight we're talking to a big name. We're talking to Dale Creasy, and Dale has been involved with NHRA, Top Fuel Funny Cars for a lot of years. Let's come back to Irwindale Short Track.
We can do that.
And let's head over and talk to Dale Creasy. Dynamite, you got him on the phone
Sure.
somewhere?
Let's go to line 1 and welcome Dale Creasy. Dale, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Glad to be here. I'm glad you guys called.
Dale, it's an honor to have you on the show. Now, I got to tell you, every time we have a big name like you on the show, we send our crack team of internet investigators to look all over and get all the dirt. And, we didn't find nothing on you. Everyone we talked to talked about what a great guy you are, how nice you are. And the only thing that they could say was he's got a great sense of humor. How did this all come about?
Yeah, I think being out in the racing community, as we all know, it's a small community. So the easiest way to make things work out is to get along with everybody that's there. Because they don't always stay. Like vendors will come and go. They'll work for different companies, but they always stay in the business. So I just figured it was just a lot easier just to get along with everybody.
Well, that is a good idea. Now, you live in the city of Beecher, Illinois, and some of the locals told me there's something called the Beecher Creature out there, which is what they call the local PD, and they say you have to make sure that you never, ever break the laws in Beecher because they run a tight ship there.
Yeah, I knew about them long before we moved out here, but it's basically just do what you're supposed to be doing, and they leave you alone. You speed through because it's a small town, and it's like a cut through from the highway, so you can get around some traffic that way, but you better be careful when you come through here.
Well, it sounds like a good place to live. Everybody taking care of business and doing what they're supposed to do. Now, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you and your Top Fuel Funny Car right now.
Well, we're getting ready for Charlotte. We're going to do the 4-wide. It's going to be our first race of the year. And ever since I started going to the 4-wide, I absolutely love driving it. I love having 3 other funny cars next to me. To me, it's one of the coolest. Having 2 is cool, but having 4 is like the coolest thing in the world. And so we start off there, and, we'll go from there, usually run Topeka. And this year we're working on some match races. We've got 5 already, and working on some more, trying to generate some income so we can do some more NHRA events.
Now, I understand you do a lot of match racing with Jack Wyatt.
Yeah. Jack and I have been racing together for years. We ran each other in IHRA for the championship 2 years in a row. I mean, it came down to the last run at the last race one year. So, we've been buddies for a long time before that. And then we just travel together and we book each other together because both cars are comparable. And, our routines are the same and everything works out good. It puts on a good show for the fans because, we're best friends out of the car. When we're in the car, of course, we want to beat each other. And the crew standing behind us just cringe when we both stage because we'll do anything to beat each other. So sometimes you might get her a little close to where it shouldn't be, but usually everything works out good.
Now, of course you might be a little biased, but which one of you is the better driver?
Oh, that would be me for sure.
Well,
Well, how about when
No,
you guys came
Jack-
down to
Jack-
that? When you guys came down to that final race at IHRA, and it was that last race. Who won that last race?
He won the race. I won the championship.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
you're
All
putting a spin on that.
Touche.
So it came out. It ended up raining on Sunday, so we ended up having the race on Monday, and we were separated by 15 points. And he'd go out and run 5:03, and we'd go out and run 5:01. And it was a perfect battle. For people watching, it was probably a cool thing, but for us, it was a little bit unnerving.
Intense.
It's not, we've never raced. We never run one round, so now we're running for a championship, and it was just a cool deal.
Now, while we're talking to you and while we're showing video of your car, we're talking to people on a website called thefote.com, and they're asking the question, is it distracting to you as a driver when you race the four-wide track?
It doesn't to me. I could see if you were a newer driver that, the only distraction is that at times you hear noise on both sides of you. Mm-hmm. Usually it's just on one side or the other.
Is it better to be in a center lane or an end lane? I mean, is there a preference?
No, I don't care.
I think the preference is to be in the front.
As long as they give me a lane and I get to race, I'm happy.
There you go.
So
now, I don't want to go into the whole injury thing because I know you talked about it a million times, but I got to tell Diana Mike because she didn't know. Diana, he was going down the track. Mm-hmm. The transmission bell housing broke. Mm-hmm. The transmission started spinning with the engine.
And isn't that like right in between his legs?
Well,
oh yeah.
Ouch.
How many bones did you break?
It broke both legs.
Oh.
It had, in the teens of fractures in my right leg. And the left leg, it crushed the tibia and ankle and big toe.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But in hindsight, rules have come about to where that can't happen again.
Okay.
We have carbon fiber tunnels and stuff that the force team was already developing it, but nobody used it yet. Mm-hmm. And once it happened to me, that it turned into a rule. And unfortunately, for stuff like that to become a rule, something's got to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you just happened to be the guy it happened to.
Yeah. Well, 13 surgeries, and a year later, I was back in the race car.
Oh, there you go.
But you were leading the points up until that point, weren't you?
Yeah, we were going for three in a row, three championships in a row. We had it covered by, it was over 100 points under 200. It was somewhere in the middle there, and it was only the fifth race of the year. So, we were doing really well. And it's just, you can't win three in a row if you don't win the first two. And unfortunately, I was out for the year, so
now
we ended up not.
I heard that this was that was the Alberta track, correct?
Edmonton.
And I heard that you once told somebody that you wanted to go back to that track, go back to the same lane, go down that lane, the same exact lane that you had that injury, and get out of the car and turn around and give the lane the finger.
Yeah, I said that as a joke. I really did want to go back to the track, though, because it's like getting back on the horse that threw you off. Mm-hmm. It had to get out of my head. And, once I got there and went down the track, the people were so nice. The track owners and, everybody just treated me so well when I was up there, and they're always nice. And when I had said that as a joke, and somehow the newspaper got a hold of it, and when I got a lot of people mad at me because they thought I was blaming the racetrack.
Oh.
And it never was that. It was just a joke in my head that I'm going to show it that I can beat it.
And I think you even said that later, but a lot of people left that part off where you said, I wanted to show that lane that I could beat that lane, that I could be a winner in that lane, and even that injury can't keep me down.
That's what it was. And I actually got a hold of it, and when I stopped the car after the run, they made me get out of the car and flip the track off.
Wow.
They had it set up with all the safety guys to block my lane, so I had to get out of the car and do it because they understood what I was saying. It was nothing bad.
It turned into like an urban legend, sort of.
Yeah, and Rob and Kim up there that owned the track, and when Aaron Polburn and the guys were running ice race, we all traveled together, so they understood what I was talking about. There was never anything bad. It's just some people just take things wrong.
Well, when the media leaves the rest of that out of the story, too, it comes off sounding, a little weird. Hey, I don't know if you'd mind speaking to one of your fans, but Dynamite, I think you have one of his fans on there.
Sure, let's go to line 2 and welcome Snakebite Bob.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, Peanut, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, just standing here talking race cars, the one thing I'm good at.
There you go. I got a call from Scott today, and he said He says, we put our crack research department on Dale Creasy Jr. And he says, we couldn't dig up any dirt on him. And I says, what the heck? I says, you're never going to either, because he's such a great racer. And he's such a great person with the fans. And I got a quick story here about Dale. Dale and I, we've met each other at the racetrack and at places that I shouldn't have been, but I was there anyhow and didn't know it. But anyhow, Dale's really, really fan accessible. Like, you could walk up and talk to him, just to walk up to him when he's getting ready to go or whatnot. But a few years ago, when I first met Dale, the very, very first time, not at the racetrack, I was in an undisclosed area of Chicago because this is a research and development facility that his work is at. Anyhow, and I'm driving by there. I'm a truck driver, and I see the hauler, and I go, "Hey, that's Creasy's hauler. I got to go in there and see if he's there and say hello." So I whip a U-turn. I go in. I find a parking spot out on the street. I go walking in the back door, and all of a sudden, all these people are giving me dirty, dirty looks, and I'm going, "Oh, what did I do?" And next thing you know, you hear Dale saying, "I got this. I got this." Right? And I didn't know until a few years later when I had my boss at Toronto Motorsports Park that I took the boss in to see Dale, and where he was oohing and ahhing at all the spare parts and the hauler and everything. And I didn't know until that day the building I walked into was more or less a high security research and development place. And to that day, I always wondered what the heck I did wrong. Dale never said nothing. He shook my hand and we had a good conversation. Have I got the story pretty much right, Dale?
Yeah, that was it. Because when you walked in, I knew that you weren't there for Tech Pack. So I figured before they throw you out, I better go over there and save you. So and they don't mind that because it's a competitive business that they're in, and the building doesn't even have banners on it. And they have another building that's accessible, but this one here is their research and development. And that's where they had me with my race car, and it was safe there. Everything was good, and Tony, the owner of Tech Pack's been taking care of me. We've been together for over 20 years, and he's just been good to me. So that's where he walked in, and everybody was looking at me like, "What are you going to do?"
Now, Dale, that's your major sponsor, correct?
Yeah, that's Tony Byer from Tech Pack.
And do they have a website or anything, or a way to people find out more about their company?
Yeah, just go to techpack.com. They have their thermoforming plastics, molds, aluminum molds, things like that, and just go on there and just tell them, just thank them for helping us would be a great thing because he's just been wonderful to us for the last 20 years. So.
Let him know Dale sent you. Now, any other sponsors that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, we've got Stan. Beaver Shredding is a document shredding company that has been with us for a long time. Stevenson Crane, Redline Oil, Specialty Fasteners, the associate sponsorships that without them, Cleveite Bearings, Mahaly, that without that smaller stuff, it adds up into big stuff, and we appreciate everything they do.
That's right, because you are you're in the class of kings. You're competing at the same level with all the big guys, and it takes a lot of money to keep that machinery going.
Yeah, you just gotta pick and choose your battles, and I always say that I'm going to go in there and kick their ankles a few times, and maybe one day they'll fall, and you just don't go in there and think you're going to outrun them guys because they've got the talent, they've got the research, and
he does a good job at it too.
Well, that's true.
I got one question, and then I'll let you go, Dale. I've always wondered. You hear people call Dale Peanut. I got in here late, so I don't know if you told the story or not.
No.
But how did you get the name Peanut?
Well, I thank my sister for that. She, when I was younger, because I'm a junior, and I was small, so whenever somebody would call for Dale, then we both come there, so they started calling me Peanut. That was back when I was 7 or 8 years old, and it stuck. So,
Which is
yeah,
weird
it doesn't
because
bother me.
peanuts are unlucky to drag racers.
Are they?
You know, that's what they say, but
Yeah.
2 world championships later, I'm not buying it. And look at John Force. Green's not lucky.
You know what? I got to listen to you, Dale. You're right. Once
Look at the Castro
again.
car.
Once again. Well, Snakebite, thanks for calling. It's good hearing from you. Dale, we want to appreciate you. We want to give our appreciation for having you call in and talk to us. We're all big fans. We all follow your racing, and it's been an honor to have you on the show.
Yeah, anytime you guys want me on the show, you just call, because I enjoy doing these things, because the promoting of drag racing is what it's all about. And if it helps our race team, that's good, but more for the sport.
Great.
When's your next race, Dale?
Charlotte will be our first race.
Good.
And
Nice.
when is that?
I'm going to say somewhere around the end of March.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Once the snow melts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks after Gainesville. That's all.
That's all you need to know. Thanks.
Yeah.
Dale, thanks a lot. Snakebite, thank you both. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Yeah,
Thank you
no
very
problem.
much.
Man, what a nice guest. I really liked what he said at the end about, hey, if it helps me, that's good, but if it helps drag racing,
That's better.
even
Yeah.
better.
What a good guy. Down to earth, kind of a normal guy. And,
Yeah.
we like talking to racers like that.
Yeah, we do. Now, another racer that's a down-to-earth kind of person, Alex, the car girl. Dynamite, you got her on the phone somewhere,
I do.
don't
Let's
you?
go to line 3 and welcome Alex. Alex, what are you doing out there?
Hey, I'm just chilling in SoCal. I kind of wish I could be in studio with you guys, but I think I'll get there pretty soon.
Well, you're going to. We got a chance to see you last weekend out of Fontana, and you're running your car, and we actually got a little footage of you with the Dodge Magnum. And
Yeah, I saw that.
It's still a Magnum, right? With everything out of it.
I guess
the
you could still
seats
call it
and-
that. Yeah, I mean, there's really most of it is a Magnum. We'll put it that way.
You know
Yeah.
what? Great body style. I love that body style of car. And you know what? You were running some great numbers at Fontana.
Yeah, we were extremely impressed with the car this weekend. To be honest, I didn't think everything was going to go as smoothly as it did because we made so many changes over the winter. We weren't sure how the new combination was going to come together, but our best pass was a 1036 at 130 miles an hour,
Wow.
which surpassed our best ET in the car by a full tenth. So we were really, really happy with it.
And the weather was kind of warm, so really you get some good, cool temperature, and you're going to just beat those numbers right away.
Yeah, I think it was got up to 86 or 87 that day. And as long as we can keep the car hooking and sticking on the track, then we can keep those 60 foots down and really, really get some good numbers to brag about. Yeah.
What kind of 60 foots were you doing, Alex?
The best 60 foot we had was a 1.38.
Wow.
We couldn't repeat that too well, but I'm confident. We've got another test coming up this weekend, and then racing next weekend at the first PSCA event of the year. But we're just going to play around with some more settings, and I know Rich will get it figured out. We got it.
Now you're heading out to Las Vegas for Mopars on the Strip, and this is a big event.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure everybody that watches the show knows about this event because it's a really, really cool event that happens in Las Vegas every year. Big Schwag, actually, is going to be the special celebrity guest this year, which is pretty cool because he's a speed and seat guy.
He's a big guy. I mean, a big
Yeah.
name.
Yes,
That's right. So it's happening March 27th to 29th in Las Vegas. I'll be there racing the Magnum in 3 different bracket classes. Now, this is really cool because you hear the name Mopars at the Strip and you think, oh, well, I don't have a Mopar, I got a Chevy, I got a Ford, I can't go. Well, not anymore, folks, because there are 3 different bracket classes that you can race with any make of car. So there's a box and no box race gambler on Saturday. There's Mopars versus the World on Sunday, as well as Pony Car Wars that any car can race in. So, the best part about this event is that it's not just a drag race. There's autocross, a huge vendor Midway. I'll be selling my car care products, Liquid Glow. They've got Queensryche is playing at the free concert. With
that's awesome.
One of your favorite bands, right?
Yeah. I think it was you I was telling. I said, I actually have their cassette.
Right.
You're aging yourself, Lucky. Stop it.
Hey, they were big in the 80s.
At least you didn't say 8-track.
Exactly. I was going to say, cassettes aren't that old. Even I've used those.
Yeah, well,
You had to scrape windows with, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, how much does your car weigh now?
you never ask a girl about her weight,
I
Diana.
said her
White.
car. No.
Well, okay. We weighed it, and it weighed just over 4,000 pounds on the scales.
Uh-huh.
However, we don't really have an exact number about how much weight we took out over the winter because just sort of like every dyno is different, every scale is different. I weigh the car in Las Vegas with the same trim and setup that we weigh it at Fontana, and it gives me a different weight. So I won't say exactly how many pounds we took out, but I think it's around, let's say around 200, give or take 20.
But
That's
that's
a lot.
still
Yeah.
4,000 pounds, and you're pulling it into the tens.
Yeah, that's a big, heavy car.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is, and it's always been a heavy car, and to get it to be a light car would be a lot more work than we've already done. So, I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. We're always. It's so funny. As soon as you get going, a certain ET, you always want to go faster. It's like 1036. Oh, that's awful close to 999. Great. Now I got to go for that now.
Just imagine if you put that, is Arlington supercharged?
Arrington's.
Arrington, yeah.
Arrington supercharged Magnum Hemi motor into a 2,000 pound
Yeah,
or
a little
2,500.
altered car or
Oh
something like
man,
that.
what a ride!
It is fly.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot to ask you, what kind of motor oil do you use in that car?
Yep. We use LAT, of course.
Oh, and Lucky happens to be wearing an LAT shirt
That's
today.
right.
I saw that. I
That's
know.
right.
And
The
we
best.
also. Sorry?
The best motor oil.
That's right. LAT. We've actually been using LAT for a couple of years now. They have such great. Well, they have great people. Danny Vaca is an awesome guy, and they have great technology in their oil. Every time we do an oil change, it's just they're great supporters of Speed Scene Live as well.
That's right. And
And we also-
they're big in pro mods as well. A lot of the pro mod drivers are using LAT racing oil.
Exactly. The Pro Mod drivers, we sell a couple barrels of ATF, automatic transmission fluid, at some of the races at Streetcar Super Nationals to the Pro Mod racers because that's the only ATF they can run. Their converters get so hot that this is the only transmission fluid that they can run without having to change it every pass.
Well, it's really good. I use that ATF also, and it seems like it hits a little harder, too. You get a little bit more positive reaction out of your transmission.
Yeah, which is always good.
Always good. Now, where can people go to get more info on Mopars at the Strip?
So you can go to Matt's, I believe it's mattslv.com, so MATSLV.com. Or you can just type in Mopars at the Strip on Google, and it'll bring you right there.
Perfect.
Of course.
Well, good luck, Alex. I hope you do good. You got to do something in one of those classes. I mean, you're in almost every class at this point.
Yeah.
How many
through
different
them.
classes?
3 different. Well,
That's a lot of racing.
two. One is on Saturday. There's a separate Gambler on
Oh, okay,
Saturday, and then
okay.
two on Sunday that I'll be racing in. So, I hope that the Chevy and Ford guys will come out so I can show them what the Magnum's got.
That's right. Just like you said earlier, it's not just Mopars, Chevys, Fords. Everybody's welcome. Bob is welcome in his AMC.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody can come out and race, and it's a great event at a great track. Alex, thanks so much for calling in. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you guys for squeezing me in. I know it's short notice, so.
No problem. No problem. Well, we'll talk to you later. We're gonna go ahead and Bob.
Yep.
Let's go back to Irwindale number one.
Irwindale.
And you were just getting ready. We were talking
Yep.
about the skid plate cars. We were showing the wheels, and here you are actually customizing the car.
Yes. I applied the Speed
Yes.
Scene sticker.
The Speed Scene vinyl.
Oh yes,
Yes,
I final.
let's get
Yes,
that on
let's
there.
get that on there. It took a
gotta
lot of
add a
finesse.
tenth, add a tenth.
I've been trying to learn how to put these stickers on. Watching Dynamite at the drags.
Good luck.
So I did, and we we definitely had to letter the car as well to let people know that we were doing. So I became a custom painter.
Yes, and this is very classy too.
Yes, I can graffiti anything.
You
now.
are surprisingly good at writing with a spray can.
Yeah, they
I
can
know there's a
actually read
story behind that.
Yeah, there were it's only 2 arrests ago though.
Well.
But yeah, we were out at Irwindale and the weather was beautiful. Now, see, even the gas got down there.
That's right.
nice.
You got some good gas out there at Irwindale.
Yep.
Man, you got these stickers right in the bump zones, too. You know, things could happen to them during this race.
Well, this is Bob taking off, and you can see how well these rear wheels work.
And it just slides around. It's kind of, for those of you who live in snow country, it's kind of like driving a rear-wheel drive car
is there
in the snow.
Is there a sense of the drag of them? You know, the fact
A
that
little bit, yeah. It doesn't roll like when you put it in neutral. It doesn't slide, and it doesn't work that way.
Now, they also had Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
So here's the Demolition Derby. They had a really cool class called the trailer class.
Trailer racing, yes.
Where you had to have a trailer with a boat on it.
Is that a reindeer?
Yeah, well, it could be a boat or anything, but the trailer had to have something on it. It couldn't
That's
just be an empty
wrong.
trailer.
You cannot put a Christmas reindeer on it and get hit.
Now, this boat was
It's
actually
easy.
the winner of the race, and he allowed me, before the race, he allowed me to sign the boat and put a Speed Scene Life sticker on there.
Oh, nice.
And
nice.
you know what? Really a nice guy. This is Tom Ryan, who was the eventual winner of the race. And he said he thinks the Speed Scene Life sticker brought him a little bit of luck.
Well, there you go. It gave the boat a 10th.
It,
Well,
yeah.
it protected the reindeer.
Of course.
Look at this.
Of course, here's some of the other boats, and you'll see these are more of a traditional size boat.
Yeah.
But everybody kind of has a sense of humor about this, and they try to have fun. You know,
That's
it
it.
seems like
Well, that's a big boat.
that's a big
yeah.
boat.
Holy cow.
And but everyone's trying to have fun. See how they kind of emulated
look
the
at it,
motor.
yeah.
Huh?
This young lady put eyelashes to give her car a more feminine touch.
Oh, nice.
You know, because
Yeah.
when you're in a demolition derby destroying a boat on a trailer, you do like to keep
Yeah.
your girlish side.
That's
Sure.
it. Yeah.
Indeed.
Now,
Yes.
the rule was for the trailer races, you could not hit the other car. You had to hit the trailer.
Oh, wow.
So you were racing, but you were also supposed to knock
Be my
the trailer off.
Valentine.
Because if the trailer's gone, the guy can't race anymore.
And love is in the air at the Irwindale Short
That's it.
Track. You know, there's a little bit of Valentine's, the day after Valentine's race. And I really like the family aspect about this. Now, this Irwindale does a big autograph session. They bring all the fans down. They meet the drivers. They see the cars. These are all the different
Yeah.
classes. And this gentleman decided that he was going to put a clown on his car. No
clowning
clowning around. In it to win it.
And he did. That car was amazing. He had that thing under control, even with the plates on it.
Drivers gave out sacks of candy to the kids. They did autographs. They posed for pictures. They let families and kids in front of the cars. It was a very interactive, very a great atmosphere, and they got all the kids involved. They showed all the cars before the race, because a lot of these cars really don't look like this at the end of the race.
No.
And some of them take a little bit of a beating. Well, they take a lot of a beating.
Yeah.
And they not only do they have the big cars, but they also brought out some kids
Oh, how about it?
and quarter midgets,
Yeah.
and they did some display or exhibition
Exhibition racing, yeah.
So it was really a cool deal. Now, Bruce, let's go and talk Nitro Harleys, because
Yeah.
before we get into Bob's racing, we have the team owner of the winner of the NHRA Winter Nationals, Nitro Harley, and Dynamite.
Well, let's go to line 1 and welcome Damian Cowden. Damian, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Damien, welcome to the show. Now, are you calling in from Canada, or are you down on this side of the stripe?
You betcha. I'm on the beautiful West Coast. Sunny day today. Had to mow my lawn and wash the truck.
Yeah, rough.
All your friends and fans in Canada are now cussing you out.
And you did this in your shorts, right?
Yeah.
I was actually in my shorts. It is a beautiful day out here.
Well, congratulations. Your team was the winner of the Nitro Harleys at the NHRA Winter Nationals at Pomona. And I don't know, I don't ever remember them competing Nitro Harleys at that event before. Is this the first time?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's the first time where we've actually had a points race. We did exhibition there a number of years ago, and in years past, exhibition was also, at a variety of NHRA events. But this was the first time in Pomona for points, so it was pretty exciting. The fans loved it.
Oh, the fans just ate it up. Everybody totally. And what's not to love? Giant burnouts, incredible, powerful bikes. I mean, you look like you're hanging on to a rocket ship. In fact, I got to mention your driver, Len Darnell. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Exactly, you betcha.
I saw a run, and I'm not sure which run, but I could have swore the front tire never touched the track. It looked like he was at least halfway down. It was up in the air.
Yeah, no, second round it was well past 1,000 feet for sure, and they will carry the front wheel across the finish line if the conditions are right and the tune-up's right for sure. Very exciting.
So that's a good thing, huh? To keep the front wheel off the ground.
Well, he's moving.
Well, it's funny. It's easier to ride them when the front wheel's in the air, but most people would argue that they should go quicker if the front wheel was on the ground. So it's just cool as heck for the fans to watch. Because obviously with the front wheel in the air, you can't steer, so you've got to be shifting your weight around on the bike to keep them straight. And believe me, they never want to go straight.
Well, with that front wheel off the ground, I would say maybe less resistance. So maybe they do go faster.
You got these two tiny little wheels on your wheelie bars, that are the size of skateboard wheels going 220 miles an hour. I can only imagine what those bearing temperatures are like. I've never checked the track.
Yeah, they were never designed to do that, But that's okay, because none of what you do was originally designed to do what you're doing. I mean, you are pushing
we took a Harley engine that was designed to make 43 horsepower. We're making 1,000, so it's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness!
It's I drive a 9-second drag race car, and you have more horsepower than I do. And look at how
we're putting 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. It's pretty exciting.
All right, what do you guys run for a transmission? I know a Harley's got a little separate transmission box, but you can't be running a Harley tranny.
No, that's a 2-speed B&J. It's very similar to what the car guys, I believe. In fact, actually, some of the cars, maybe even boats, are using the same transmission.
Wow.
Now, I got to ask you, because you were the team owner at this event, but previously you've always been a rider. So what brought on the change? Why did you transition from rider to a team owner with a hired gun?
Well, there's a lot of factors. Len and I have been talking about this for a couple of years. He licensed on my bike in Vegas November of 2013, and we were hoping for this year to be the year. Len's ridden 4-cylinder nitrous bikes for many years and is very experienced in the smaller bikes. Similar times. He's ran 650s at just over 200. So, he's a great guy. I've known him for about a decade, and there's other teams in the Northwest looking for great riders, and I figured if I didn't take the opportunity to get Len on the team, I might miss the opportunity. And I've been working on a second bike behind the scenes that I hope to debut before the end of the year. So we'll see. Last year I'd hoped my second bike would be done by now, but not quite ready yet. So I just didn't want to lose out on Len. He's such a great guy, and he proved it this weekend with a phenomenal job riding the bike. Running 630s at almost 220. Essentially, he's only ever done 2 passes on a Nitro Harley, so incredible job.
Jeez. It's so fast on a bike like that. Now, the other big news, besides, of course, your win, which I would have to say eclipses all, but new Nitro Harley Association has recently been brought together, and there's a lot going on with you guys. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time for our sport. In the last couple of years, IHRA and NHRA have both come on real strong for the Top Fuel Harley class, and it's we felt it was time to get a group of just for our racers, much like the Pro Mod Association has, and to kind of get a strong voice, a collective group. And we've got an email database, so we can talk to each other and work together. We're working collectively to get more sponsors and more prize money and lots of other stuff to help our class grow, because there is a ton of Top Fuel Harleys in North America. Probably 30, 40 teams. There's at least 25 active teams that are competing regularly. So it's just a great thing. The Top Fuel Harley Racers Association is only going to grow, and it's good for our fans, and it's great for the NHRA to have that connection as well.
It really does add to the entire event. There's a lot of excitement about what you guys are doing, and you're very professional. The teams, everyone in the teams are really nice. I had the pleasure to meet Ray Price and his team, and they were all a great bunch of people. And you and Ray kind of go back and forth through a lot of different events over the years.
Yeah, they're definitely the team to beat for sure. They're a real class act, and they got a great group of guys. And no doubt, I've always cherished racing them. And, we've had a lot of head-to-heads last year. We were second in points right up to the very last race and had the opportunity to win the championship. But, they won the race and the championship, and they just kind of set the standard. I mean, they are the quickest team more often than not, but I always like to joke that we're just out there to keep them honest, just a little team from Western Canada. But I'm real proud of our team. We've got such a great group of people helping out, and I know that this weekend proved it, that we can go out there and win races, and make it to the finals. I think the bike's been to the finals 9 out of the last 10 races it's been to.
That's amazing. I don't think anyone has those same stats that they can compare to you.
Yeah. No, thanks. No, last year we were trying some stuff off at the beginning of the year, and we were kind of chasing our tail for the first few races, and then after that it was just rock solid. So this year I'm trying to focus more just on the tuning myself, and Len, he seems to be just doing phenomenal with the riding. So I think we really got a shot at this. I mean, for Len to go out in his rookie race and win one of the biggest national races you're ever going to see, with the grandstands nearly packed in Pomona. What an exciting time.
Let me interrupt you. We've got Len right here in the winner's circle.
Weekend, a great opportunity to do this stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. You close your eyes and hang on.
You don't really do that.
You guys are shaking so much through the whole thing, so it's a good ride.
A new era. You guys got a new organization. We're going to see quite a bit of the Nitro Harleys out here on the NHRA Tour. Tremendous addition to the show. And I know every time I walk back there, your places were flogged with fans, and you guys are very, hey, come on in, check it out, sit on it, see what you think.
Oh, we love it. The fans are what it's about. We love all this stuff. We love the fans coming. We love them hanging out with us. And it's just, we want to be at more of these things, so we want everybody to have fun.
I get the feeling like most racers, since you won today, you'd like to race again tomorrow. But when is the next time we'll see you out here in the other two?
We're going to be in Las Vegas April 10th.
I look forward to that. Congratulations on the first win of the season.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nitro Harley.
Well, he did a great job. He speaks well. He rides well, obviously. Took your bike to a win. I think he's a perfect fit for your team.
I agree. Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting year, and only bigger and better things to come.
Now, how about sponsors? Who do you have sponsoring your team?
Oh, we're so proud to have Lucas Oil come on board this year. That was a huge connection to hook up with Lucas, and going right back to the beginning, Steve Drain Harley Davidson has been a huge sponsor that's local. Gasoline Alley Harley Davidson, and of course Parker Johnston's been one of my biggest sponsors throughout the years. So lots of local businesses that help out, and we're excited moving forward. I mean, even just this past weekend, we've talked to a couple of new sponsors that are interested. And doing these national NHRA events, you're exposed to so many more people and so many bigger media forums. I think that our team and our sport is only going to grow.
Now, when did you get into the Harleys? You didn't start racing fuel Harleys.
Yeah, well, I personally, I progressed real quick. I was racing a gas bike in the dirt, and within 2 years I was running top fuel. So I progressed a lot quicker than most. I went to a quarter-mile event, ran a 10.0 my first or second day on the gas bike, and I said, well, that's just not good enough.
Jeez.
So I went to carbureted nitro, which was going from 130 horse to 450 horse. And then by the end of the first year, my sponsor, Steve Drain, he went out and bought a top fuel bike, didn't even ask me. And he said, you think you can handle it? And I, of course, I said, well, I guess we'll find out. And got my top fuel license in 2 days, which is it's about as quick as you can get it. And just never looked back. It's just such an unbelievable rush. I mean, I've done every adrenaline sport on the planet, from swimming to sharks and jumping out of planes, but Nitro Harleys doesn't get old. I mean, just starting the bike in the pits if somebody didn't do their job correctly, you can blow the motor up and get seriously hurt.
I think
That's why we gotta.
I think I would rather jump out of a plane into a pool of sharks than ride that Harley.
Yeah, nitromethane. I mean, we run it 100% pure.
Oh,
the cars are only allowed 90. We get the real deal right out of the barrel.
How do you keep the cylinder heads on it?
Oh, you can. I mean, you've got a restraint strap on the motor and a big steel frame, and you have to wear a ballistic vest. Just because in case a piston comes through the frame,
it'll hit you in the chest.
Doesn't hit you in the chest and kill you.
Yeah, they tell the nitro guys, oh, you can't run more than 90, it's too dangerous. But we'll let the Harley guys do it.
Yeah. They don't have that much oil in there anyway. What's the problem? Yeah.
Wow. Well, the next national event for the NHRA is April 10th and 12th at Las Vegas. Will you be there?
100%, yeah. We're probably going to be 2 bikes in our camp. I think I might be back on another bike, and Len will be riding our bike. And, I hope to be on Alan Sedlowski's bike, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun that weekend.
Great.
That sounds great.
Well, Damien, I want to thank you for calling in. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. You know, you're a young guy that's extremely driven, and you've done so much in such a short period of time. I can't wait to see where you're going to be 10 years from now.
Well, hopefully on a supercharged Harley ride in 5 seconds. That's our plan.
There you go.
And you know what?
That's the next level.
I believe it. Coming from you, I believe it. Hey, wait, Bruce.
Well, there's lots of teams working on it. We're looking very forward to the future.
Bruce, I think you had a short clip right there of. I know the sound's a little iffy, but let's bring it up.
Let's take a look.
So this was your first race as a team owner, correct, and not riding?
Correct.
How do you feel not riding?
It was different. But no, it was really cool. It's still very rewarding because I know that if the bike isn't tuned properly, you're not going to win any races. So it's still a very challenging sport and a lot of pressure. We had to rush real quick for second and third rounds today. And to put Len on the bike for his first race ever at Top Fuel and get him the win was unbelievably rewarding. So lots of fun.
Oh my gosh. And what advice did you give him?
I told him to relax. I said, we got this. So we did, and he did a great job of riding. His reaction times were phenomenal, and very, very impressed with his abilities, and looking forward to doing the whole season with him and trying to win the championship just like we tried to last year.
All right, Scooty, bye.
Cool. Thank you.
Damien, incredible, man. You guys are a great asset, a great addition to every NHRA national event, and we want to thank you for providing that entertainment.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Really appreciate it.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bruce,
Take care.
Let's go to Irwindale 3. And, Bob, you were out there. We showed the skid plate car.
Yes.
We showed the other cars.
Yes.
Let's see your race, because here it is. This is the beginning.
Which car is Bob?
Well, the pack takes off. Bob's coming. There he is right there.
I am right there.
Okay,
I'm catching
that
up. I passed 5 cars on the first lap before we even got in the first turn.
Wow. Okay, your car 81.
He was kicking butt,
now,
let me tell you.
Contrary to the Donny Couch scenario, where you go out and win your first race, I was able to find every other tire on that track.
Yes.
Here I am trying to go straight.
Uh-oh.
Yes. And now it's not just Bob. If you watch these cars, they all. It looks like they went to the bar, got the 20th drunkest guys, and said, "Go."
Now the biggest problem I had, they had taken the ignition lock off, and the ignition switch had a problem. So when I spun the first time, it stalled. It took me a while to finally get the ignition switch to work. I got it running again, got back out in competition. I think I completed 3 or 4 of the 20 laps. And got stuck in the middle watching everybody. But I'm going to talk to my car owner and see if I can make it again for the next time, because I'll tell you, it was a kick. I'll put a different switch in. Now, you see, I finally got running again.
There you go.
And there I go.
He's back in the hunt.
And I'm going around, I'm dirt tracking it right around that corner. Only problem was that wasn't the corner.
Yes.
Now, that was the corner. And I go, wee, and I found the front end of that car. So now we're going around again, and I go around again. Now we're making the first turn, the legitimate first turn. I get to the back end out. I straighten it back out. Now I'm heading down the short chute. I'm closing in. So's the guy behind me. I'm coming up on him. There we go. Through the narrow chicane at the front straightaway.
And around.
And I almost go around. I catch it.
Oh, nice.
Now I
nice.
go back the other way. Now I'm going down this way. I found that I was in first gear. Now we go around and there I go. And I found the tire. I kept it running. I kept my foot planted on the throttle, and there I go again. You know, it's kind of like, here we go, loop-de-loop.
Are these automatics or are they standard transmissions?
Some of the guys are running manuals. This one happened to be an automatic.
Okay.
It was a Nissan, and I figured it was quite appropriate. And now I come around again, and there's that tire.
Oh boy! And those tires are big, heavy
Those
tires.
are big, heavy tires. And I got into the center. I kept my the pedal to the metal. I spun it around, and I'm going. I'm already 2 laps down as we go in. And we're only into the second lap of the race.
I think it was a 20-lap race.
20-lap race, and I think
Yeah.
I made, like I said, 3-4 laps out of the group. The car ran great when it was running, and you know, this is the first time I did a little bit of practice on Thursday night before the drags with a different car. This one wasn't running that night, so I got into this car, having driven it before, and there I found the tire again.
But now, Bob, I got to mention that there are a lot of other cars that are parked all over the track. I mean,
I did make it further than some. I was out of the money, but I was there in the top 20. I figured, let's see, we had 30 cars there, and I think I came in 32nd.
You know, it is amazing. Sometimes as you round a corner, you're going, oh, that looks beautiful. Look at that drift. And then it just goes away.
It goes all the way. And there was my last lap. The car came to a stop, and it just wouldn't. I couldn't. There's the guy riding with
look at the guy with the hood up.
This is a guy that about 5 laps in, the hood popped up, and he continued on.
And I think he was one of the top 3.
I think he did really well.
Maybe
and
it was that dynamic from the airflow, the airflow of
like
the,
a big spoiler?
Exactly.
Oh, you know what, Bob? Next time,
Next
open
time
your
I'll
hood.
open the hood, yeah.
Open
Well,
your
I
hood
sat
and
in the center and
stick your head out the window and look like this guy was.
full fire suit and helmet, and it was 86 degrees outside, and I was a little parched by the time we got out of it. But I sat on the track, and they tried pushing it. It didn't work until we got back to the pits.
And then, of course,
as soon as it got in front of the garage,
Started
the lights
right up.
came up on the dash. There's him getting pushed by Urbandale PD. And there I can still spin, even without power. But I'll tell you what, it was a kick. And I have to thank Bill Quay, one of the drag racers. He came out just to see me, and he brought me a package of blue pills, Aleve.
Okay.
I was going to say, what does that have to do with
Not
it?
the other blue
Not
wheel.
the other blue.
What,
no.
does it hold the steering wheel so you can use your hands to do something else?
Yeah, you could. But the Aleve, Bill, luckily I did not need that. I was fine. It was great. I want to do this again. And Thursday night I'll talk to the car owner and see if that car is going to be available for the next one.
And, this was called the Day of Destruction. Normally it's the
Night of Destruction. And they've got 5 more of these events at Irwindale Speedway.
And Bob, I got to tell you, because I was up there watching and filming, here's the clown guy.
Yep.
These events are so much fun. The crowd, the entire crowd gets into it.
Yeah.
When there's a crash, you hear everyone go, ooh. And when there's a close call, they go, oh.
Yeah, and it was a capacity crowd.
It's like fireworks.
It was a great day, and they've got, like I said, 5 more events. March 28th is the next, then June 20th, September 5th, October 24th, and December 5th, Night of Destructions.
And here's what the winners do. Yeah, the top 3 guys will get out and put on a little victory dance.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. You get to go out onto the track. You get to meet the drivers, see the cars, root for your favorites, watch them. They race a race, then they bring out a whole different class. Man, when it comes to getting your value for your entertainment, Irwindale Speedway delivers in groves, and everybody there. And on top of that, they've got food, drinks, beer, and I even bought some of the food. It was reasonably priced. It was very good. It's not, hamburgers and hot dogs. I got pulled pork sliders with pineapple slaw. I mean, you got some good food, and the prices were reasonable.
And it's freeway close in the center of the Southern California area, right there in Irwindale.
It's a really nice facility. I mean, you get right off the freeway. There's plenty of parking, nice facilities as far as restrooms and so forth. So, you can bring your family. Gentlemen, you can bring your wives and just come on for a nice evening evening or a day of fun. And
Yeah.
the events are great. I'd like to see those trailers. I'd like to get a little video on the racing with the trailers.
Well, we've got a clip, but we don't have trailers, unfortunately. We've got Irwindale 2, and it's got some of the other classes, but this is what they call flagpole racing. And what it is everybody has to go around the flag, which is really fun.
Okay, how are the rear ends? Do they have tires?
These have tires.
These have tires.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
very good.
but Dynamite, they're the same cars. They just put tires on, or they put a skid plate.
Okay.
Now, was this before?
This was
This is
before.
before the skid plate race.
And at first, they all, after it spreads out a little bit, it's kind of fun because the cars are coming in really fast to go around the pole,
Right.
but there's other cars that are trying to go around and get out of there.
Sure.
And then there's one car that died, so he's jamming things up.
Okay.
And so it's the cross traffic that makes it fun.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Talking about LA freeway congestion.
And then there's more cars coming.
And then that guy helps the other guy out of the way by pushing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think this was the first time ever that they actually had flagpole racing.
It was,
at
and
Irwindale.
the spectators loved it so much they are going to bring it back. It's going to be another race division they can run, and it is a kick. And here's the quarter
Oh,
midgets.
here's the kids.
Yeah,
huh?
the kids put on exhibition, and it's a real small track, but look how fast they're going.
Yeah. Now
These kids start at, what, 4?
4 years old, and it's restrictor plate racing. The younger the kid, the smaller the restrictor plate. So they had 3 different divisions within the quarter midgets, and the older kids got the least amount of restrictor plate.
So that's like a governor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
like on a NASCAR
Okay.
where it just blocks the flow of air.
And this is what I think Bob should do next time. This is skid plate figure 8 racing.
Oh, yeah.
So put it this way: the car's out of control, and now they're going to be crossing each other.
Crisscrossing.
Oh, come on! Is this a race made in heaven? I mean,
I tell you what,
you know. There's so much personality with the cars. This guy's got a flag. The other guy had a clown.
Now, Lucky made mention something about some of the cars were donated, Bob.
Well, in the
I think one of the parts place.
Pick Apart, I believe,
Pick Apart.
provided some cars,
Right.
and I was driving one of them.
Okay. That was very nice of them to,
Pick
to
Your Part
provide
was,
some of
was
the
helpful.
cars.
They had done some event at the track, and what they did is they gave the track some cars, and we were using them. One of them was in the Enduro. I was driving that one in the skid plate, and I believe they still had others in case these wore out, or we wore them out, or used them up.
Man, it is that must take a toll on these things.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
But just
Unless you're like me.
think how fun it is to drive. Bruce, you got an extra car sitting around, don't you?
I got
Not
2 or
for
3
this.
extras.
Yeah,
Not
come
for
on.
this.
Yeah.
He's
It's a
got-
flip-top Ford.
Hey, yeah, perfect.
We're almost out of time, Bruce. Maybe leave this running for a little bit, and maybe we could do some What's Going On. What do you think,
Yeah.
Diana
Well,
Mike?
I would love to, Lucky, and that's What's Going On, brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive, M&H Tires, and LAT.
LAT Racing Oil.
Yeah,
That's
we can't,
right.
We can't forget that. Lucky's wearing the shirt today. And, well, gosh, Lucky, what do we got going on? Well,
Well-
of course, February 20th through 22nd is going to be the March Meet warm-up race at Bakersfield.
That's right. And February 21st is a test and tune of Fontana. So if you want to make some passes, go on out. Boom, you're out there on the track. You're racing.
And the world-famous March Meet at Bakersfield will be March 5th through the 8th. You can buy not only your spectator tickets right now online, but you can also buy your race entry on thefolk.com.
NMCA West. Diana, you were going to say that, weren't
Well, I
you?
was, but you took the words right out of my mouth, so why don't you go ahead, Lucky?
Well, they just recently came out with their 2015 schedule, and their first race will be March 27th through the 29th at Auto Club Raceway Fontana. We will have Cammie Edelbrock live in studio in the near future to talk about it. And Diana Mike, what else is on the schedule?
Well, also Mopars at the Strip. That's going to be the 27th through the 29th at Viva Las Vegas. Hey, you know what? Go for the shows, but stay for the racing.
In April, well, Bob, what's going on in April?
Well, April 17th through the 19th, ENRA, the American Nostalgia Racing Association, season opener at Famoso. Be there.
And April 18th is the next Match Race Madness race.
May 15th through the 17th, Eagle Field has a 3-day event. Go back in time with flag start drag racing and many legends of the past.
Hey, we want to thank Dale Creasy. We want to thank Alex the Cargirl and Damian Cowden, who very impressive young man. But mostly, we want to thank Hot Rod Bob Beck for putting his life on the line in a skid plate car. It's almost more dangerous than actually driving to the studio.
It was, and I'll tell you what, I'll do it again.
In LA traffic.
And for those of you that wrote, I am fine. It is just, I'm a little pale. My hair color and my skin color are the same.
A little pale. You're more like a bucket.
I am. I'm full of it, all right.
I got it. I get it. Oh, jeez.
Well, next week we've got a young lady who has been racing the NMCA events in her Mustang, Bridget Davis, and we got a bunch of cool stuff. Plus, we didn't get any motor updates tonight on the Paul Williams Specialties. We're going to show you how he preps the rings, how he installs the rods. We've got a hamburger oil pan install we're going to show you. Tune in next week and we'll give you all that.
Nice. Hey, for now, we are so out of time, but not for the encore presentation, which just starts in seconds. Catch anything you might have missed during the show that's airing right now. Thanks so much for joining us. We're back next week right here at SpeedSceneLive.com.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.